May the Lord's peace be with you, children of the Most High. In our first and second series of marriage, we spoke different issues about marriage. In our third series today, we'll discuss more about marriage. Marriage is good, and God accepts marriage. God likes marriages. When I speak about marriages, some confuse with come, we stay. When you wake up one day and visit your friend's homestead and decide to sleep there one night and go home, that's not marriage. So let's discuss more about marriage. Many married couples outside there are very happy, and many married couples outside there still face challenges. Some of these challenges, they handle them internally as husband and wife, and some of the challenges, they handle them with the help of other people, maybe church members, maybe the people around them, family members, or those who are there, the best couples, when they got married. There's no specific formula of solving issues in marriage or in relationships. But one of the major challenges people get in marriages is the lies which was told to them before they entered into relationships or before they entered into marriages. Most people, when they grow, especially in secondary school or colleges, they are taught by the environment, people around them, that marriage is a safe haven. So when they get into marriage, they realize that it's not a safe haven. There are challenges in marriages. When a lady is frustrated at home, maybe she is not going along with her parents, her guardians, her siblings, or community. Some of these ladies decide to get married, not because they are ready to get married, but because they want to escape those frustrations. They think marriage is a safe haven. Sometimes it's not the case. When they find challenges outside there during marriages, when they are married, that is, they get so frustrated. Some women who missed colleges, who miss going to school, maybe because of lack of support from guardians, from people around them, lack of school fees, some decide to go into marriage because they think that's the best solution. So they only get married to settle down, thinking that's the best way to settle down. But in most cases, that is not the case. When one person, maybe a man or a woman, fails in business, has no money, and realizes the other partner has money, his business or her business is doing well, some decide to get married to that partner, only to realize that marriage is not only concerned about businesses. It has other issues as well, internal issues as well. Some young men, when they get money, when they get a house, when they think that they have settled, they decide to marry. Not because they are ready, but because they have money to use. They feel they need somebody around them, but they have never consulted God. They have never consulted the guardians. They never have consulted their mentors. What is about marriage? When one finds himself or herself very lonely, some decide to go to marriage or relationships because they are lonely. They want to find somebody to cover them up. And also they call others like my best half. You're not half, you're full. God never made anybody half. Yes, 1 + 1 is 1 in marriages, but you're not half. So you are lonely. When somebody is very lonely and decide to look for a partner, sometimes even after marriage, they still find themselves very lonely. Remember, God said it is not good for a man to be alone. That's why God created the female partner. God never said Adam was lonely. He was alone. Some get married because of age. They look around, they realize that everybody, their age mates, are married. So there's too much peer pressure from the community. So they get married not because they are ready, not because of love, not because of respect, but they decide to go to marriage or into relationships because of age. In some communities, if a lady is 24 years and above, the whole community start bringing issues. Why are you not married? So too much pressure. And pressure is not equal to maturity. Those people who marry because of pressure, because they want to fit in a group, they want to be like other colleagues. When they have troubles in marriage, it's very difficult for them to handle those because they were never ready. Some people find trouble in marriage because the reason which made them to get married is not sorted out. An individual can decide to get married only because he or she wants children, she wants kids, he wants kids. But when they get married, after a few years, maybe God did not bless them with kids. Or Satan is taking away kids, maybe through miscarriage. These people, sometimes they get so much frustrated, and sometimes marriage breaks because one of the partner married specifically because of kids, not because of love, or not because they were ready. They want to do baby showers like other people, like their colleagues. They go to their friends, they do baby showers. So they wish they also need baby showers. Sometimes when they go and visit their colleagues and their colleagues have a small baby, they admire those babies. So they decide to marry because of baby. So when baby delays, they get frustration. People should marry because they are ready. Yeah, we should marry because we are ready, not because of the environment around us pressuring us. But even if you are ready, even if it is your time to get married, there are usually few troubles which come through marriage, through relationships. And the Bible is very clear on the same, that when you marry, you'll have troubles. But the good thing is, the Bible is not discouraging us to get married. It's encouraging us. Once you get into relationships and once you get into marriage, when you find trouble, you should be encouraged that you are not the first person to get troubles, but there are always solutions. In the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7, verse 28, it is written, "But if you do marry, you have not sinned." So if you get married, you have not sinned. And if a virgin marries, she has not sinned. But those who marry will face many troubles in this life, and I want to spare you this. So Apostle Paul is telling us in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 28 that if you get married, you'll face problems, you'll face troubles. But he's not scaring anybody who is not married. He is not scaring anybody who maybe his wife or her husband is dead to remarry. No. He is preparing us for what we expect. But there are always solutions in marriages. And also you're told you have to forgive. We have to be humble. Humility pays. Even the best marriage advisors, even bishops, even pastors, even the people whom you think have the best marriages outside there, they still have trouble. The good thing is they know how to handle it. It is handled with understanding. Even your neighbor around there, you might think they have the best marriage, but when you pay close attention to them, when you speak to them, they will really tell you, we have this and that. And the good thing is they look for solutions. For example, there are a lot of troubles in marriages based on the fact that a man and a woman have been raised from different cultures. They have different beliefs. Some come from different religion backgrounds. That's why you have troubles in marriages. Yes, devil plays his part, but at times we play our part based on how we were raised up. And sometimes we have more troubles because we don't want to get understanding. We don't want to get knowledge. We don't want to get wisdom about marriage. Especially understanding is very key. If one partner was married because of possessions, he or she realizes my partner has possessions, so let me get married. Once these possessions start going, maybe if it is money, the marriage will have troubles. But that's not the end of marriage. It doesn't guarantee you to divorce. It doesn't guarantee you to separate. You need to look for wisdom and understanding. Why is this happening? Then sort it out. For example, in marriage, people mostly get trouble if they lack the knowledge of how to handle their children. When children start coming, when God start blessing those families with children, a husband and wife can come together without children, they live very well. But once they get firstborn, they get secondborn. One partner, whether a husband or a wife, might decide to shift attention to his children or to her children. If it's a woman, she shifts 100% of love, of everything to her children. She forgets her husband. There will be trouble. If it's a husband, he shifts his 100% of love and attention to children. The wife will have a problem. So all of them will have trouble. So you need to understand that you must share love to both children and wife, and also to children and husband. Children can cause problems. And also sometimes when people marry, once they start getting children, they start having troubles. The reason is not devil. The reason is because one partner shifted attention to children. Your children need attention, yes, but also your husband, your wife needs attention. One might be a believer and one a backslider. Maybe one was, or maybe both of them were believers, but one decided to backslide, go into drugs. The marriage will have troubles. Those are facts. But troubles are not the reason as to why marriage should stop. No. Some marriages have trouble because one partner, maybe he or she is very firm. So when this person goes back to house in the evening, he is supposed to be a husband. She is supposed to be wife. But sometimes they forget. They think if it's a lady, she thinks her husband must treat her the way she is treated by fans. Or maybe if somebody is a CEO of a company, of a big company, when he goes home, he wants her wife to recognize her as CEO, not as a husband. That's where we go wrong. That's why divorce sometimes happens. When you go home, your children calls you your father, calls you your mother. So if you're firm outside there, you get a lot of recognition. You get red carpet. Don't expect your spouse to lay a red carpet to you because it's happening outside there. Some marriages have issues because of lack of understanding of the other partner's job. For example, if you're married to maybe a politician, or if your husband maybe is a bishop, he meets a lot of people outside there. Sometimes they have little time with you. So it is you to start speaking these things before they have gone overboard. Maybe somebody the whole day is receiving thousands or hundreds of mails. Some meets, he meets people or she meets people in her office, and sometimes they come to your home. This person needs to create time with family as well. And also you need to understand that the other partner has so many commitments, but still needs love back to you. Some marriages break because one partner feels the other partner is growing too old fast than him or her. So if you don't understand this, they will have troubles. You might agree with your partner that we need this number of kids, but later your partner changes mind. It will bring trouble into marriage. You need to understand this partner must justify, and you also must justify, then come to conclusion. In some cultures, men do not cook. So if you marry a woman from a culture where men does not cook, and if she finds you that you cook, she might have issues. Or if a lady comes from a family where husbands cooks, their fathers used to cook, and she is married to people where they don't cook, and maybe this lady is pregnant, she's very sick, she wonders, why is my husband not cooking? And yet I'm pregnant, I'm sick. If this lady does not understand that that's how the culture works, and you, if you don't understand that's how where you have married, their culture is different from yours, you'll have trouble. But when you get understanding, that's where you have to be neutral. When you get understanding, you will find out that your partner is not true. Your partner is not trying to create dramas. When trouble comes, we must know how to handle them. But in marriages, both partners needs to understand how to handle troubles. In the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 9 to 11, it is written, "Two are better than one, because they have good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Also, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone?" So there are some troubles which come through marriages, but one partner will always assist the other partner. So if your husband, or if your wife or your boyfriend, your girlfriend is very angry, you must calm down. Then discuss. If one is down, very frustrated, you must raise that person up. That is wisdom. So when trouble comes, because it is guaranteed to come, they will be solved. There are always solutions in everything. And it is good to solve them internally before you involve anybody outside there. Yes, the devil sometimes can try to destroy marriages, because there are a lot of information outside there on how devil destroys marriages, and some of them will tackle here in this channel. But let's deal with understanding, let's deal with knowledge, let's deal with wisdom, and God will always guide us. And may the Lord be with you all. In our next series, we'll tackle more about marriages.